Hello and welcome to the first episode of Hating on Peak, a brand new series where we wave our fist at the summit of the mountain and take the best and most beloved games and search deep down, exposing their flaws. I had to choose this game, especially since the long-awaited sequel Silksong, which was originally just planned to be a DLC for the base game, has finally been announced to be coming out sometime this year. And usually, this wouldn't really mean anything. But as of this recording, at this very moment, Gamescom is happening right now, and they have blessed us with a real playable demo for Silksong. So I wanted to give Hollow Knight its last hurrah. September 4th! However, before I get into it, I should acknowledge the elephant in the room. No, the intention of this is not to rage bait or hate monger just for the sake of being negative. I truly believe that the more you enjoy something and the more time you spend with it, the easier it becomes to spot its flaws and understand them. I very much enjoy this game, and it's most likely going to be the exact same, if not more, for Silksong. And to any of you who still don't believe me and are saying things like,
"Oh, this guy probably barely played Hollow Knight," or
"Oh, this guy only probably messes with games if it has gun or ball in it, am I right?"
You're gonna have to take my word for it. And to further prove that this is me playing and this is my actual save file, I'll go to the resting place of my favorite character, Cloth, where they died, and input the Konami code. So I'm gonna do up, he looks around really slow, down, left, right, and there's no A, B, so I guess I'll do jump and attack. Now, let's get into it. Starting off with hating point number 1. Some of these bosses just do not deserve to exist in this game. Don't get me wrong, more than not, most of the bosses are really fun to fight against, and even some of the more challenging ones are incredibly fulfilling to defeat. But if you are one of the Dream Warriors or a flyer, then I really hope I don't have to see you in this next game. And if I never have to face you again, it would be too soon. Starting off with the Dream Warriors, not all of them are that bad. In fact, none of them are even realistically that challenging, but man, would it kill y'all to stop teleporting every 2 seconds. And you, Markoth, are the worst. I can't stand this guy and his dumb shield and his garbage movement. It is the same thing with the flyers. Obviously they don't teleport, but they use the same single brain cell strategy of being perfectly diagonal from you at all times, except for the occasional dive. Again, they're not even that hard, they're just annoying and don't need to come back, okay? You hear that, Team Cherry, beloved creators of Hollow Knight, okay? Love you. But moving on to hating point number 2, 100%ing this game is not worth it. In terms of achievements, look at me, bro. Look at the screen. This game has 63 achievements for you to get. You do not need to do all of that, and you don't even get anything for doing all of that. You can easily maximize the amount of fun you have with this game by just taking it at your own pace and doing the base game alone. And the furthest that I would personally recommend you go to is the Pantheon of Hollownest. As a person who loves to complete games without any guidance in a time where it is easier than ever to just search up a guide to any aspect of the game and just put in no effort to actually finding things, many of these achievements are easy to miss. Other achievements that the game includes will have you do multiple playthroughs of the game just to get some small differences between each one, including some in Steel Soul, the permadeath mode that the game has. And you do not want to die trying to do Steel Hearts. Also, Team Cherry, I have every achievement, which means that I also have the achievement for hunting every monster in the game a certain amount of times. Please make this guy a boss in Silksong, please! Hating point number 3. I don't like the map. Anybody who's played this game even just a little bit will tell you that there is a compass charm that you can use that shows you where you are on the map very early in the game, but it's just a headache to me. Hating point number 4 might get y'all the most, and that's going to be the Pantheon of Hollowness. the final Pantheon, the Pantheon that encompasses every boss in the game, including those unique to the Pantheon itself, is bad. Let me paint the scene for you. You're battling through 42 bosses back to back to back, and maybe you make it to 30 or 35 on your first couple of attempts, but you really get the hang of it, and practice makes perfect and all that. You make it to the second to last boss and you lose. So you climb that tower again and you lose. And this happens over and over. Oh, look at that. You did beat the second to last boss and didn't get past the first phase of the last one. Okay, let's go back. And we died to the second to last boss again! The unfortunate thing about this is that it's more of a test of your patience. Bosses in this Pantheon become fodder, and you know how to handle most of them like the back of your hand, even to the point that the pure vessel becomes easy to you. But then the nerves or just some unlucky placement gets the better of you. It just starts to become a real time sink more than a challenge, playing around with charms, questioning your strategy, but it's just that last clutch moment that really matters. Number 5, the next hating point is going to be about the true ending of the game. A quick little search on the internet is going to show you that Team Cherry themselves has stated that all of the endings in this game that you can get are just as canonical as the last. So in a way, everything's the true ending, and at the same time, none are the official true ending. But if you want to try and tell me that the ending where you discover the truth to your conception and the mass conception of your kind, all with the sole purpose to contain the infection plaguing Hollowness and utilizing the void within you and the ability to access the dreams of other beings, so you work together with Hornet to force your way into the mind of the previous Hollow Knight to fight the Radiance, the being responsible for this entire tragedy, and finally defeating her while the void expands and the shades of your brethren climb with you to help finally vanquish the Radiance for good by unlocking the void within you, ultimately sacrificing yourself to stop the Radiance from ever releasing themselves and ending the cycle of vessels being created for this one purpose, while the shades of your people are finally put to rest, is the same as screwing over your sibling and trapping them with you inside of the black egg, forcing the cycle to continue. Then you got me. All the way, fuck! And then the 6th and final most tragic hating point on this entire list, Zote. Zote. Little fun fact, by the way, I'm just saying Zote because that's how I hear everybody say his name. I always thought it was pronounced Zote. Like it was extravagant because that's how he painted himself. That, I don't know, I'm just gonna go with Zote for now. But let's take a little time out to say, hey, thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you have made it to this point and you're enjoying yourself, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I would really appreciate it. And feel free to go into the comments and tell me what you agree or disagree with regarding any of the points that I made, and complain about me in the comments about Hollow Knight. Civilly, of course. As civil as you can be as a random commenter on the internet. But now comes the real issue. With every action comes an equal and opposite reaction. And in terms of this, I just cannot hate on a game I enjoy so much without trashing on these complaints that I have. So, now it is time for the complaint I had about the bosses in the game and how some of them just purely should not exist. Counterpoint. This is mostly bothersome in the Pantheon of Hollowness because you fight them repeatedly, but at most, if you're wanting to get the true ending of the game, you'll probably fight them one time and keep it pushing. Some bosses like the Winged Nosk don't even exist outside of the Pantheon, so yeah. The complaint about how 100%ing the game in terms of achievements specifically was not worth it. Counterpoint. Don't. No, seriously, it's just like I said, you don't get anything for 100%ing the game in terms of achievements, and it doesn't hide anything from you. So unless you seek to experience everything the game has to offer multiple times over just to say that you speed ran the game in permadeath, you don't need to do this. Although for the Steel Soul achievements specifically, please be sure to cheese them. Just save often, and anytime you are even close to death or you're just worried about your current situation, you can quit and load the save no problem. I tried the honorable route one too many times and it was nothing less of frustrating. Also, there's not exactly a step-by-step follow-along Steelheart guide out there, at least not that I've seen, but shout out to Monster and this video they made because it's a solid reference I used to get through this the best way I possibly could, and that will be linked in the description. But being as it is a speed run, you don't need to follow it to the T. There's some less than safe tactics here, like crazy skips and using the Fury of the Fallen charm a lot. Much stronger of a player than myself, that's for sure. The complaint I had about the map, counterpoints. Get better at navigating. The biggest gameplay related complaint I had was about the Pantheon of Hollowness, and okay, the amount of time that you spend on the Pantheon of Hollowness is just purely insane, and I do stand by that. Plus, there is an ending, technically two, that are locked behind beating the Pantheon. But counterpoint to that, when I finally beat the Pantheon of Hollowness, I felt on top of the world. After the hyperventilation, I literally went crazy when I did it, bro. I really can't argue against how impatient the Pantheon made me, but it was honestly one of the most fulfilling moments in gaming that I've experienced, and I would still recommend trying it out at your own pace. The complaint I had about the true ending of Hollow Knight. Now, this counterpoint needs a preface that I'm pretty sure the events of Silksong will take place during the events of Hollow Knight and not necessarily right after. So, although this does account for assuming, still, counterpoints, this opens up a world of possibilities for what events can take place for our sequel. The lore of Hollow Knight is amazing, and even though I personally feel that the Dream No More ending is the real true ending, I can appreciate some open-endedness. And then finally it's going to be Zoe, and counterpoints, I got nothing. Don't let me see this phony in Silksong at all, or else I swear.